Today I'm gonna show you how to cook something that is amazingly good. Chicken Alfredo. It's everybody's all-time Italian classic, cheesy, garlicky, saucy, and a side of crunchy chicken. This thing can't be beat. Oh, this is good. Holy shit. Alfredo sauce on my shirt. Why am I holding fettuccine? We're cooking chicken Alfredo. And also I'm holding fettuccine because I was actually measuring out the amount of pasta that I want. See, I used to have a very bad habit of cooking too much pasta and not cooking enough pasta until I learned this method of, if you can have this part of your thumb touch this part of your finger, doesn't matter how big your hands are, that's one serving for you. Alfredo sauce with the pasta and the juicy chicken and the crunch. I mean, there's no words. Panko breadcrumbs. Make sure you get the Japanese style. If you're doing chicken Alfredo and you bread your chicken with anything other than panko Japanese style breadcrumbs, that's a no-go. Preparing chicken Alfredo is like making toast with butter. There's only a few main ingredients. There's not much. You really can't mess it up unless you mess up the sauce. What's in the hefty? Chicken breast with 2 tablespoons of grapeseed oil. Make sure you get the chicken good and lubricated. Lubrication is the key to this situation without tearing your chicken. So once the chicken is good and lubricated, move it to the middle like so. And then you're going to flatten your chicken. Don't beat the chicken. Don't beat it up too bad. Take it easy. Just a flick of the wrist is what's gonna do it. When handling raw chicken, always wash your hands after every time you've touched the chicken. You don't want to touch the chicken and you go touching everything else, and then you find yourself severely sick and in the hospital and having a bad day. We could take the chicken breast out after we flatten it and put it in the dish, pour the cornstarch in there, move it around, flip it around like the traditional way, and no, we're not doing that today. We're gonna save ourselves some time. We're gonna take the cornstarch, we're gonna open up the hefty. This is why you have to get the Boss hefty bags. The hefty bags that have the kind of like folding out to where you can stand it up. Look at my hefty bag. So you'll take the cornstarch. You can do about 2 tablespoons. I'm making a mess. That's why you do tablespoons. Don't do what I just did. So you're gonna take the cornstarch, you're gonna dump it in like that. Get the air out just a little bit. And you're just gonna move the chicken around. Chicken should be getting good and dry. We're building a base to where the chicken gets dried out, and then we dump it in the egg batter. And the cornstarch will cause the egg to stick, and that's what you want. That's what's really gonna form a good seal between the egg and the panko. And also the reason why you want the egg to stick is because we're gonna salt the egg batter really heavy, which in turn is gonna give it a good flavor because you're gonna have the cornstarch, the egg batter with the salt and pepper, and then you got the panko, and then you have the Alfredo alongside of it. This is the do or die moment for anybody who wants to cook chicken Alfredo and you wanna bread your chicken. This is actually the first step to the do or die moment. The second do or die moment is if you don't put panko on there. You bread it with some other crap that you get from the grocery store or some generic breading kind. Panko breadcrumbs. Panko. Remember that name, panko, Japanese style. Salt your eggs heavily. I cannot stress this enough. So many people, when they're frying something, they don't salt it heavy enough. You seem to forget you're gonna have oil, you're gonna have batter, you're gonna have all this stuff. And you put just a teensy amount of salt and you wonder why your fried food comes out not that great, it's just fried. You wanna take the chicken, move it around. You don't wanna have naked chicken, make sure it's covered. No naked chicken. You don't wanna do that. So now it's time for the panko bath. To the chicken, I like to do this part with my hands. I like to move the panko around over the chicken to make sure it gets coated and really breaded. You can even double bread it. You can bread it the first go around, drop it back in the eggs, re-panko it again, but I don't want that much of a crunch. I don't think I can handle that much of a crunch. Sauce. The key to this dish is the sauce. You must have a sauce. When approaching this, you have to look at it as adding layers of flavor on top of each other and creating a foundation. You create a bad sauce, nobody's gonna eat your food. You create a good sauce, you're gonna see people slapping their mother, you're gonna hear guttural sounds, you're gonna hear cursing as if they have Tourette's. I'm gonna show you how to build a layer of flavor with the Alfredo sauce. You're gonna need garlic. What I have here chopped up is about 2 cloves of garlic. Actually 3 cloves of garlic, because if you're gonna cook anything Italiano, it's gotta have a garlic taste. So I have 3 cloves of garlic. Butter. Butter is important to make this sauce. You gotta have butter. Butter is a must. Butter is in there. You put butter in everything. Remember this if you don't remember anything else from what I'm telling you. Butter and better are the same thing. I can't express that enough. And repetition is the key, so I'll keep repeating that butter and better are the same thing. Also key to this sauce is Parmesan cheese and whipping cream. It's not the healthiest, but it tastes damn good. So I'm making this sauce when you heat up the garlic. You're gonna put the garlic in a pretty much cold pan or semi-cold pan, because as the pan raises up to temperature, it's gonna allow the garlic to sweat. So sweating the garlic is what you really want, because you want those acids and juices in the garlic to come out. And also it's important that you sweat the garlic, because if you don't, those acids are what's gonna give you gas. So hence why when you're cooking onions or you're cooking garlic, you wanna sweat both of those. As soon as you drop the fettuccine in, begin to turn. Twist gently, don't twist hard, because the pasta is still hard. So twist gently, all the way until it softens up, and start turning. You don't want the pasta to stick to the pan. Now I'm gonna let the butter burn. I'm not gonna let the butter burn. We're gonna let the butter brown. So once it starts to get a brown color, then we're gonna drop our whipping cream in. In goes the whipping cream. You want about a cup. Turn the heat up to a medium. Get it bubbling, get it nice and bubbly. Always hit the sides to make sure the whipping cream doesn't get thick and gooey on the sides. You can already see the sauce is starting to thicken up just a little bit. Now we're gonna add the wine. White wine for the Alfredo sauce. Maybe a 1/4 cup. That'll give it a nice taste. Give it a different little edge to the sauce. Don't put too much in, otherwise it won't thicken. Give it some flavor, some zing, some zhuzh. Little red pepper flakes. I like my Alfredo spicy. There we go. Let's give it a little salt. Once the sauce begins to thicken up and the alcohol evaporates, add just a little bit of Parmesan. You don't add too much Parmesan, because if you add too much Parmesan, what's gonna happen is when the sauce cools down, the cheese is gonna cool down, which is gonna make the sauce really thick, and it's gonna adhere to the pasta. It's gonna be good, but you want that sauciness with the Alfredo. Set my Alfredo sauce to the side. I'm gonna use my instant read thermometer, because I want my grease to be at a temperature of 350. If you got a bad grade in school for not paying attention, don't try to fry this kind of chicken. You have to pay attention. So lay the chicken away from you in the grease, because you don't want any grease splatter. So watch carefully, because this goes quick. You can kind of eye it. Once it starts to get golden brown, that's when you know it's good to go. It's only gonna take a few minutes. Maybe 2 minutes on each side with a piece of chicken this thick, and you're out of there. Starting to see the golden brown cook around the edges, creeping up. So we're gonna flip it over. Look at that. Golden brown goodness. Chicken is done. Let's pull it out. Look at that golden brown piece of chicken. Golden brown goodness. Look at that. Chicken is ready, the pasta's ready, the sauce is ready. Now, one thing I like about the pasta, when you pull it out, it already has the pasta water on it. So it's gonna help thicken up the sauce just a little bit. This is how Alfredo sauce is supposed to look. Look at that, it's just saucy. That's good stuff. I told you, the key to this dish is the sauce. This is just enough sauce, and it's saucy enough that when it cools all the way down, it's still gonna be saucy. Hence why you don't want to overcook the sauce and you don't want to put too much Parmesan in. Let's cut this chicken. Do you hear the crunch? You hear the crunch when it's moving across the board? That's good. Look at that. Look at that juicy chicken. Do you hear that tactile crunch? That is amazing. See, this is gonna make for some exciting Alfredo. Look at that chicken. Look how juicy it is. And hence why you pull it out a minute and a half after you have it in 350-degree oil, and you let it cook up. That way you seal in the juices. I've gotta taste this. That's it. Oh my God. That is a work of art. Look at this crispy chicken. Crispy and juicy. Look at that. The Alfredo sauce doesn't get any better. This chicken Alfredo, folks, a little garnish, dried parsley, fresh parsley, be a little bit better, and the Parmesan. Let's hit it with a little bit of Parmesan. There it is. This is a good chicken Alfredo. Where's my fork? I'm gonna try this. Oh, this is good. Holy shit. Alfredo sauce on my shirt. Follow my instructions to a T. Pay attention to detail. Take time with your sauce. If you have to cook it one by one until you get it right, cook it one by one. But this is an amazing dish when done right. Enjoy cooking because I'm gonna enjoy eating.